part two.
Part 2
of the 10
building blocks for a solid family.
See, she's not ready to be a news anchor. So we're back just to
Reiterate.
We went over the first 5 building blocks for a solid family in part 1. So go check it out if you haven't already. Today we're going to dive into part 2. This is a list that we got from one of our classes at church several years ago.
And if you didn't watch part 1, we do keep this displayed where we can see it often and we can read through it weekly, daily, and be a good reminder.
Yep. So number 6, communication is key. Positive communication is the language for love for our children and our family. So I think that's straightforward, but as we know, communication is one of the toughest things with families, with spouses, kids. But just communicate. Make sure that you guys are trying to stay on the same page. It won't always be that way. I know this morning we just on like who was taking the kids. It fell through like on a communication, like, oh, she was going to the gym, little bitty stuff like that. Where
was I going?
To the gym. Yeah, she goes to the gym then, guys. I'm really proud of her. So little stuff like that, but then positive communication, I think that's the key. So, you know, you can communicate in a negative way, arguing, yelling, your kids hear that. Not saying there won't be disagreements, but try to just keep that communication more positive than negative.
Number 7, play. Oh, you should have done this. Play is necessary for a close-knit family. There's nothing like play to bring about family togetherness and communication. So Lamar does this better than I do. I don't like to play. And I have learned to teach myself to learn how to play and how to just sit there, and whether it's Lego. Now I do enjoy Legos, but some things that they play, I just don't enjoy. Lamar can roll on the floor, just do all the things. And I'm like, why? Like we went to the pool yesterday. He will stay in the pool with him the whole time. I'm like, okay.
Well, you stayed there longer than ever yesterday. It was like 10 minutes. They were like, Mommy's in the water. Mommy's in the water. But I want to say something, though, to your point. Like, these are 10 building blocks. It's not that you may do every one, but that's why it's a family.
A good spouse.
It's an aspect. So, like,
a partner.
For instance, the play, if you talk with y'all, the play with your kids, but like with Taylor, she's still on plasmids, but what she's not learned, but, well, yeah. On the first one we talked about in part 1 was the power of being there. Well, she may not play, but like we might be outside rolling around, kicking. Well, now she'll come out there and get her little lawn chair and will sit there and be there. So to them, she's
with
there.
This is all no phone, no tablets, none of that.
Sometimes.
No, that's my goal.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else.
But just being there. So it's not like, oh, you might not be playing, but the power, the presence of being there. So that's why like a lot of these work together. We're not gonna be perfect in all of them. Like for me, the emotion, the warmth, like we talked about in part 1. So that's just a whole family dynamic.
Yeah, and I would say too, something we both do well. Friday nights are dedicated to either a movie night or a game night, and we try to, even during the week, I try to do fitness videos with the kids. Lamar's not really a fan because he doesn't call it a real workout. But just whatever it is, your kids want to feel like they're important, feel like they're valued in your family, just spending time. Yeah. Whether that's through play or you find something that you do like to do. Like I like science experiments. Me and Carson bond with that. Yeah. Grayson likes to play in my hair, do dress up. Whatever your kids' thing is.
But also don't feel like you gotta play with your kids all the time too.
Nope.
That's something we learned from her. Like
a wise person told me, y'all play with y'all's kids too much as a generation.
And I was looking back, like my mom and them, they ain't played with us like that. Like
and we knew that they loved us.
Yeah. So cause sometimes we're like, oh, I haven't played. Like play. Like you spend time with them, but don't feel like obligated with like I gotta play with my kid all the time. Like we're not a kid. Like we'll spend time. Right. Go play upstairs with your sister. Y'all go play. Y'all go figure it out.
That's why you got siblings.
That so anyway, yeah. Number 8, love your spouse. Love in marriage brings hope and security to your children. So so just love.
And we do. Lamar, when we were dating, was never a fan of public
PDA.
PDA, yeah, public display of affection. We try our best to do that in front of our kids. Now we do better, and he's warmer now. But Grayson gets all googly eyed because she's into Disney princesses right now. Carson is like, ugh, yuck, mommy's kissing daddy, or whatever it is. But however you show your love, whether it's through hugging and kissing in front of your kids, or just saying I love you. And we make a point too, something we try to do intentionally is I will tell our kids, like, y'all have a really good daddy. And I'll just name off some things he's done recently. Like, you should really always cherish your daddy. And just showing that there's love, not only our love for them, but showing that we have a love for each other, and most of all, a love for God.
Yeah, because God and then us is most important, because they gonna grow up and go away.
And they gonna leave.
So yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. Number 9. The best things in life are not things. Yeah, I like this one. Healthy stewardship and sound financial decisions produce positive family priorities. So that's one thing for our kids. Like, if you know me, you watching this, you know how I am when it comes to things.
Cheapo.
I mean, this white shirt I got on is probably like 5 years old.
No.
So
it's
like
probably a really big hole at the bottom.
It probably is.
You know.
But life is not about things, and teaching that to your kids where they don't think like, oh, they gotta have this name brand, this and that. You can still look nice. Like, we still dress nice and presentable on a budget. People might think, oh, like I shop at Walmart, Target, and Amazon.
Oh no.
But it's just clothes and things. I don't, especially with me, I don't spend money on those type of things. I'm more an adventure person, so I save for like trips. I like to. I spend my money on experiences personally, and I'm teaching that for my kids, like to travel, those type of things, and not get focused on things. And
then the best things, like I said, in life are not things. So the things that we can't touch, like the love for each other, our communication, our love for God, our love for community, our love for our family. Love is something that's not a thing, but we're trying to build, that's just one of the concepts in this house, but trying to build on that rather than, okay, what's the latest pair of shoes, or what's the latest toy? Like, that's fine, but that's not what our family is.
And I tell Carson, because he used to be like, oh, and this is probably at the fault of his mama, when they used to go to Target all the time. He would think he would get something every time he go to a store, and I'm like, oh no, you got like messed up. No, you're not. You can look at it and teach them it's not about kids, they always want toys, but teaching them solid financial decisions. So like how that impacts them, where they know when they get money. Now I'm like, what do you do?
Yeah,
like,
it's 3 things that we tell them once
give
they
God,
get money.
They can save some, and then they can spend some. So that's something, just teaching them on the financial aspect.
And I have to give a shout out to Grayson. Okay. It was her birthday recently, and she got some money, and she said, I want to give all my money away to everyone, and I'll just keep one for myself. And I was like, she's getting it. So just when your kids come, she got it that day. Right. She's going to keep getting it. Yeah. But those proud moments give you like a little pat on the back, like, okay, we are doing a little something right.
Right. All right. Number 10,
energize your family's spiritual growth. Your greatest calling in life is to leave a spiritual legacy for your children. One of my good friends, I remember when we first became friends, she said, you might not be at the point where you could do a whole lot of different ministries, but your greatest ministry is in your home, with your kids, with your spouse, if you have one. And I consider that because it's a lot of things me and Lamar used to do as a couple, like when it came for working for God, that we just don't get to do now, for many reasons. But we are trying to build a spiritual legacy amongst our family. So we study together, we pray together, we attend church together, we do different ministries together. So that's the greatest thing. When we're dead and gone, I want our kids to remember, okay, my mom and daddy, they instilled in us a spiritual legacy and then morals and all of that, but that's the biggest thing I want them to remember.
Yeah, and I echo that. For instance, like Father's Day just recently passed, and Carson, they always the kids did the Father's Day project, and his was like, my daddy is, he had, because it's on the refrigerator, so I'm looking at it. He said, my daddy is a helper, he's fast because I'm a premier athlete. He said he's a preacher, and because that's one thing we do. We go to a local assisted living once or twice a month, and I preach and we sing, and he gets up there too. So him seeing that, he's a preacher, like he knows that spiritual aspect, and then he said he's kind, and he said he's a good citizen, and he's awesome. So just your kids see stuff that you might not realize, and so just staying consistent and letting them know that
they are sponges and they're
right.
soaking it all in. The
good and the bad. I was just saying the good and the bad. So with that, that is the 10 building blocks for a solid family. Check out part 1. This is part 2. We've enjoyed. This has also been just a good walkthrough reminder for myself, just going through these and spending time with them as well. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, share. More to life. Deuces.
Bye.